They bring peace, not confusion. There's a saying people often repeat without fully understanding it. The right person feels different. But why do they feel different? Not because they magically fix your life or complete you like a missing puzzle piece, but because their presence doesn't confuse your emotions. You don't feel like you're constantly decoding, guessing, or trying to understand what their actions really mean. Most people meet someone and immediately get caught up in chemistry. And chemistry is powerful. It can make someone's flaws look like uniqueness, their inconsistency look like mystery, their distance feel like depth. But chemistry without clarity is chaos. The people who align with your journey don't rely on mixed signals to keep your attention. They don't use silence to gain power or manipulation to feel wanted. They simply show up with honesty, consistency, and presence. Think about it. When someone is unclear, your mind becomes their spokesperson. When someone is inconsistent, your heart becomes a detective. When someone is unpredictable, your peace becomes the sacrifice. But when someone is aligned with your life, something shifts, your nervous system relaxes. You stop rehearsing what to say before texting. You stop overchecking your notifications. You stop wondering whether you're too much or not enough, because they make you feel seen exactly as you are. Many people mistake adrenaline for love. They think the fast heartbeat, the anxiety, the constant highs and lows are signs of passion. But often, that's not passion, that's insecurity in disguise. Emotional alignment feels different. Your breath slows instead of speeding up. You feel grounded instead of scattered. You feel respected instead of tolerated. You feel understood instead of dismissed. And here's an important truth. Someone who truly values you won't make you compete with your own anxiety. People who operate from immaturity will give you just enough to stay hopeful, but never enough to feel secure. Because once you gain clarity, their control fades. Alignment removes that confusion. It builds a safe environment for vulnerability, not a battleground for power. A person meant to walk with you won't be perfect. They might get busy, stressed, upset, or distracted sometimes. But even in those moments, their intention remains visible. They don't withdraw without explanation. They don't ghost when things get tough. They don't disappear the moment you express needs. Instead, they communicate because they care about the impact of their actions. They value your peace, not just your presence. Ask yourself, who makes you feel calm even during conflict? Who listens when you speak instead of waiting for their turn to respond? Who respects your boundaries instead of testing them? Who corrects their behavior instead of defending their ego? That's emotional alignment. Peace doesn't mean the absence of disagreement. It means disagreement without emotional destruction. It means feeling safe even when you're not in harmony. Because the right person won't weaponize your vulnerabilities. They won't use your past against you. They won't make you regret opening your heart. Instead, they will hold your heart with awareness. Emotional peace shows itself in small everyday behaviors. They text back because communication matters to them. They apologize first because connection matters more than pride. They ask how your day was because your world matters to them. They notice when your tone changes because your feelings matter. Even silence feels different with aligned people. Their silence is rest, not punishment. Their distance is space, not abandonment. And here is the quietest but strongest sign. Someone aligned with you will make you feel chosen without needing to chase. Not because you feel superior, but because you feel respected. In a world where attention is easy and depth is rare, people who offer consistency stand out. Their presence feels stable, not stagnant. Their love feels secure, not controlling. When someone is meant for your journey, they don't interrupt your healing, they protect it. You don't shrink to feel accepted. You don't hide your emotions to feel safe. You don't pretend to be less than who you are. Because peace is not boring, peace is freedom. Freedom to be honest, freedom to express needs, freedom to grow without fear. And maybe the most powerful sign of all, you don't lose yourself trying to be loved. Because someone aligned with your life path doesn't take you away from yourself, they guide you closer to yourself. They push you toward growth, not attachment. Attachment is easy. You can become attached to attention, routine, comfort, even someone who hurts you simply because your emotions become familiar with their presence. But alignment is different. Alignment challenges you to become better, not because someone demands it, but because their presence inspires it. You'll notice something powerful about aligned connections. They don't just love who you are, they encourage who you can become. Growth doesn't mean perfection. It means progress, responsibility, and self-awareness. The people who align with your life, ask how your goals are going, remind you of your priorities, celebrate your wins, hold you accountable, support your ambitions. They don't get intimidated when you improve. They don't feel threatened when you succeed. They don't try to slow you down so they feel comfortable. Instead, they cheer, even when your success has nothing to do with them. You can tell someone's intentions by how they react to your growth. Immature people feel competed with, insecure people feel replaced, aligned people feel proud. Here's something many don't realize. Some connections survive because both people stay the same. But aligned connections grow because both people refuse to stay stagnant. Growth looks like learning to communicate without yelling, apologizing without excuses, respecting boundaries instead of breaking them, listening to understand, not to argue, admitting flaws instead of defending pride. And yes, growth is uncomfortable. The right person won't always tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you what you need to hear. Not to tear you down, but to lift you up. They challenge your habits, your beliefs, your fears, your limitations. Not by forcing, but by believing in your potential. Sometimes they'll say, "You deserve better than what you're settling for. You're capable of more than you think. You're avoiding discomfort to protect your ego. You're shrinking because you're afraid of failing." Those words sting, but they awaken something, and in return, you push them too, because aligned growth is mutual. With the wrong connection, you hide your flaws. With the aligned connection, you face them together. The people who align with your life don't make your goals feel like a burden. They fit into your growth and help you fit into your future. Attachment often says, "Don't leave me." Alignment says, "Let's become someone we're proud of." Attachment fears change. Alignment requires it. Because if you're growing and someone refuses to grow with you, you eventually outgrow them. Aligned people don't expect you to sacrifice your identity to keep them. They want you to step into your fullness. And this is one of the biggest indicators. You improve your habits when aligned people are in your life. You take your academics, career, or goals more seriously. You sleep better. You manage time better. You commit to routines, you respect your boundaries, you handle your emotions with more maturity, not because they control you, but because you want to meet the version of yourself they already see. They see your future self even when you're stuck in your present self. Attachment makes you dependent. Alignment makes you capable. You want someone who celebrates your growth, not someone who clings to your comfort zone, because the comfort zone feels safe, but nothing grows there. They stay not perfectly, but authentically. The easiest part of a connection is the beginning. Everyone can be kind when emotions are high, attention is fresh, and expectations are low. But consistency is the real test. Not whether someone can enter your life with intensity, but whether they can remain with intention. Here's a truth many avoid. Anyone can make you feel chosen in the beginning, but aligned people choose you repeatedly. Not because they're perfect, but because they show up even when perfection breaks. Life gets stressful, people get tired, schedules get messy, misunderstandings happen, arguments are inevitable, but alignment reveals itself in how someone recovers, not how someone performs. Aligned people return after conflict with clarity, apologize when they hurt you, communicate when overwhelmed, take responsibility instead of escaping, learn from mistakes instead of repeating them. They don't disappear at the first sign of difficulty. They don't punish you with silence. They don't expect you to read their mind. Instead, they say, "Let's talk about it. I shouldn't have reacted that way. I understand how that hurt you. Here's how I'll do better. Authenticity means being real, not flawless. Aligned people will make mistakes, but they care enough to fix what they break. And here's the strongest indicator. Aligned people don't love you at their convenience, they respect you with consistency. Consistency is not texting every minute. It's showing reliability over time. Presence is not being available constantly. It's showing up when it matters. When someone is aligned with your path, you don't fear losing them every time you express a need. They don't confuse you when something goes wrong, they communicate. They don't disappear when life gets heavy, they make space. They don't replace you when someone else appears, they stay grounded in loyalty. Most importantly, they tell the truth. Not the easy version, not the edited version, the honest version. Because lies build fantasy, but truth builds trust. And aligned people value trust over temporary comfort. You will argue, but arguments won't feel like emotional warfare. You will misunderstand each other, but resolutions will feel like teamwork. You will struggle at times, but growth will outweigh chaos. Aligned people don't guarantee a smooth journey, they guarantee an intentional one. They don't promise, "I'll never hurt you." They promise, "I won't let hurt break us." And maybe the most powerful sign of alignment, you grow individually and together. You don't lose yourself trying to keep them. You don't sacrifice your identity to be loved. You don't shrink to stay acceptable. Instead, you dream bigger, you communicate better, you choose healthier habits, you protect your peace, you express your emotions responsibly, you learn patience, resilience, empathy. Alignment teaches you maturity. And as you evolve, you realize people meant for your life don't just stay, they stay in a way that helps you stay true to yourself. And not perfectly, not flawlessly, but authentically through presence, effort, and honesty. When someone is meant to walk alongside your journey, they bring peace, not confusion, they push growth. Not attachment, they stay authentically. Not conditionally, you won't need to perform to be loved. You won't need to shrink to be accepted. You won't need to sacrifice yourself to feel chosen. Because aligned connection doesn't demand your peace, it protects it.